Okay, welcome to another episode of Political Animals, where we bring you an analytical and, as far as I'm concerned, cynical perspective of geopolitical things going on around the world. I almost got it without messing up. Kunle is in Lagos, Nigeria. He's the hopeful one. I am Mustafa Janadu in Washington, D.C., the cynical one. And let's just jump right into it. Okay, so Kunle, what I'm going to talk about today is someone had a point. They're saying that that Iran should have continued and ignore the ceasefire. And their reasoning is that Iran can continue to do damage to Israeli infrastructure, and it would take the U.S. a long time to group up to help Israel, as well as the fact that Trump is under political fire at home. And the argument is that this attack was only ever meant to be 2 weeks, that's all it was meant to be. And he's saying that basically the U.S. and Israel are banking on the fact that Iran would follow the ceasefire and continue its naive policies of trying to negotiate with the U.S. So the idea is that Israel, before, and this is true, before when this campaign started, Israel said it would only last for 2 weeks. They said so. Now, if you notice, this campaign ended in 12 days when Trump said ceasefire. Okay. And then Iran listened and Israel listened. The big question is, what was the point of this attack if it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks? And a lot of people believe it was only just to break down some of Iran's defenses and to continue infiltrating Iran with the Mossad and people to continue pushing in the future for a regime over change. So this bombing that they did was to bomb certain areas. And also, if you notice, there were Iranian leaders who were killed, assassinated with drones. So Israel's attack on Iran might have been just to sort of weaken it up a little bit, loosen it up, so that they can now start bringing in people to infiltrate. So the idea that this, I forgot the guy's name, but he's saying that Iran should keep on because they have the hand, and we all know that you can never trust America and Israel. They should continue bombarding. I know it's risky to do that because it risks America coming in bigger. But if Iran really wants to be a sovereign state, get it over with now and fight a real war and don't step back. Don't trust America. Everybody's learned you can't trust America. Putin learned it when they went back on their agreements with the Minsk agreement. Ukraine learned that you can't trust America. Look how they're not helping them. So America's word means nothing. And it's strange that Trump would be saying, oh, I'm angry at Israel. I'm angry at Israel. It's all for show. They want Israel to stop this bombarding of the missile strikes on Israel because Israel's reeling. Their economy is bad. But my thing is that Iran should continue, push forward with the war now, because you're still going to have to do it later when they try to bring in the Mujahideen. And there's other groups in the borders of Iran that are helping to attack Iranians' defense forces, security forces, to try to weaken them up. So I think I agree with this guy. Keep on with your missiles, even though they're not, because the Iranian leaders are naive. What do you think, Kunle?
Well, I actually agree with the Iranian leaders, but I'll tell you why. I'm not saying it from a position of pacifism. What happens if they continue to bomb Israel? America will be forced to respond. Iran will be forced to respond. China and Russia may want to back up Iran, and it continues to escalate. What Iran's priority is right now is to clean its image abroad, which is very easy, and I'll tell you in a minute, and also to make sure that they have nuclear weapons. And they've done to stop any sort of conventional attack like that ever happening again. And to do that, in order to get those nuclear weapons, they need to have some kind of peace and quiet. They pulled out of IAEA already. Everybody feels that they're justified in doing so. Some countries like Pakistan are even offering to see if they can look a way to sell them nuclear weapons. And in the interim, they'll prepare to continue developing them. That's their strategy. They're not interested in anything except surviving within the Middle East without the US being a danger. Now, what you're saying, if they go on to attack Israel, for one, it would be fantastic for my mental health. If because I mean they're not killing Israelis in numbers. They're not killing them.
No,
they're just destroying their infrastructure.
And also they can put Israel to his knees economically. That you don't have
exactly.
to kill them.
Yeah, they're trying to dramatize, and then they'll like maybe one child is killed, and then they'll try to dramatize it. Oh, any child killed is a tragedy. But I mean, when you have one child killed in the entire war, and the other side has probably killed like 20 children before lunch. You can't really compare. You can't really compare the carnage and the depravity of what's going on. So from that point of view, yes, I would love Iran to continue to pummel Israel's infrastructure so that it becomes somewhere that they just decide to leave and the Palestinians can reoccupy that. It's easier for them to build up what's left of Israel than it is to build up what's left of Gaza. And they claim their country back. I think it's their country. Their homes were stolen. They should be returned. And that's the only thing. Yes, I would love to see that. That's a solution. I don't know if it'll genuinely work because I'm now hypocritically suggesting it's not ethnic cleansing because obviously Israel is made up of different races and groups and religions. It's not like a group of Jews, for example. Iran has the second largest number of Jews in the world outside
Israel. Israel declared war on they declared war on Iran by striking missiles on them. So now Iran has the right, not ethnic cleansing, they have the right to continue. They even have the right to say that because Israel struck them without provocation, it's their duty now to totally destroy Israel's army so that it never happens. That's within legal bound. That's not genocide. Now, I'm not saying that they should do that. What they need to do is be strategic. But the problem is you can't trust Israel and America. You're saying ceasefire now. We know that there's a reason these guys are saying it. And we have to remember, before the ceasefire, Israel said that the war will last for 2 weeks. Do you see what I'm saying? So the big question is that if they only planned it for 2 weeks, what is their broad strategy? I think their broad strategy is that they did those bombings. They destroyed some anti-air missiles and they destroyed some satellites. They might have weakened Iranians' security profile or their what is it called? What do you call it? Not security, intelligence. And something very dangerous. One of the Israeli the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. said that, don't worry, we've got something planned for them like we had for Lebanon. Remember Lebanon when the pagers went off? So my thing is that there's something covert that Israel's doing now that there's a ceasefire.
Yes, they're trying to either provoke Iran into another attack, or we're going to see some kind of false flag 9/11 Pearl Harbor type.
And I heard that Israel has brought in they snuck in anti-tanks that can shoot down airplanes. They're saying that they may be using those tanks one day to shoot down some of the anti-air missile systems in Iran. I don't think they have enough of scale to really neutralize Iran militarily, but they're knitting and picking. This is what they're trying to do. They're knitting and picking, looking for a weakness. I think it's a desperate act by Israel and the West because it's clear Iran is not going to fall. China's not going to fall.
The problem, yes,
not going to fall. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem here, and this is something we've never seen before in warfare, is that for the first time in a long time, America and the West don't have a technological advantage in this war. This is a missile-to-missile war. We can't really know the damage unless we're physically there, and it's what they tell us. And Iran says it is but a scratch, and Israel is saying it is but a scratch.
Because what happened is that America can bring in their planes and bomb Israel. Israel can bring in their planes and they can use their missiles, but at the same time, Iran can use their missiles to attack U.S. bases. They can use their missiles to shoot American planes out of the sky, and they can use missiles to debilitate Israel. So it's a toe-to-toe war. So the real question to Israel and America is, what the fuck are you fighting this war? Do you want to go? It's like you may get in a fight with me, but we both go home with no teeth and bad noses, so we don't have a girlfriend anymore. Do you get my point?
Both go home.
We go home. Yeah, fuck that shit. So yeah, but
also the image. Have you seen Tehran? The image that is given of Tehran is like it's some kind of horrible backwater place. No. It's got the biggest shopping mall in the world. The standard of living there is better than anything any West African country has to offer.
They haven't been hit too hard by these missiles.
And they travel in and out of that country freely. Their country is stable. They have people who speak out freely against the government, for the government, like any other country. Okay, there's some violence in their government, but governments have some violence.
I was at a bar with an Iranian girl, beautiful and smart. I was like, God damn, I wish I could date this girl. She ain't gonna date me. They're very smart. Iranians are very smart. Very smart.
They're very smart. I mean, the people who are the opposite to the government.
Very sophisticated. Yeah. Very sophisticated.
There's opponents to every government, and there's supporters of every government.
So, for example, India is known to have smart people. It's usually the it was the Persians who moved to India. You get my point. So Iran is Persia. It's an old ancient society that had already built up mathematics, architecture, and everything.
Yeah,
So the way
4,500 years old.
yeah, and they tend to do well in chess and everything. So, but my only thing is that if they're not going to continue fighting Israel, fine. In fact, I think they should have. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You can't negotiate with America and Israel. But if they stop
Yeah,
fighting, it should be
but
because
I think chess.com,
they
Iranians
should
said
stop.
what?
They should stop because it could lead to a bigger conflagration and it could cause the markets around the world to fall, Russia and everybody. But now that they've stopped the ceasefire, they need to stop. They need to stop negotiating with America. So, in other words, they need to cut diplomatic ties with America and just go about their business. They need to have no diplomatic ties because the Americans will lure them into a false sense of security again. So, my thing is that okay, we're ending this thing, but we're no longer dealing with America. Iran needs to listen to their Shah and some of their religious leaders and totally don't go to any more meetings with America. Just say, "Don't fuck with me. I won't fuck with you." Finish and continue building your nuclear if you want. What do you think about that, Kunle?
Yeah, I think that they can do that. Don't talk to me and don't talk to me when it comes to any kind of international. But at the same time, it's a big world market. Everybody buys and sells. Everybody trades. And
Yeah, but Kunle, what's
Iran
the point of talking
controls
to someone?
21% of the
But what's the
world's
point of
trade.
talking to someone? Kunle is like, what's the point of talking to someone when you know that everything they're saying is a lie? So don't waste your time. Just say, okay, we're doing business, we're doing this, we're doing that, but there's no need for us to talk to you anymore.
Yeah,
You
I'm saying
understand?
even enemies trade, even India and Pakistan,
Oh
even
yeah, they
Russia
can
and
trade.
America that they're fighting, they
Yeah,
still
but
trade.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. They
they
can
can trade,
continue trading. Yes,
but
that's
no,
what I'm saying.
no more talks about our nuclear program. No more talks.
Exactly. Yeah. I said that already. Yeah.
Yeah, because they killed General Soleimani. Trump killed him 8 years ago. Then
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
and then the day before this meeting that they were supposed to have, they attacked Iran and killed their peace negotiators. So what I'm saying here, you're right.
Yes.
Iran should never get involved with peace negotiations with America or Israel anymore. Would you agree?
Oh no, that's what I said is that what they should focus on now is having
It's
nuclear
trade.
weapons. That's what their number one should be. Priority. I mean, they may not even want to agree to that at that point, but any rational person looking at what has happened to Iran in the last 2
Yeah, but
weeks
you don't think if
will
they
tell
try to
them
build,
go get some nukes and then they won't do it again.
but
Because
don't you
Iran
believe
has
that
never
if they try to
attacked
do that,
anyone and
if
they're
they
never
try
going
to
to
do that,
strike anyone with them.
but don't you agree? Think that if they tried to do that, Israel or the U.S. would drop a nuclear bomb on them before they do it?
No, they won't, because if they already have them, once you know a bomb is coming, but once and also
Yeah, but I mean,
China.
American intelligence
China
can
has
tell.
also said that any country that launches a nuclear weapon, they're going to launch a weapon against them. There's like this mutually assured destruction policy of all the countries. Russia as well said that anybody launches a nuke, even America, if they launch a nuke, will launch it back at them. So even if they won't do America, they will be ready to do Israel. But if Israel launches a nuclear weapon at Iran, or they vice versa, it will destroy the entire habitat. All those Arab countries get their water from the same source. Any nuclear bomb going off in the Middle East would actually, everybody goes. There's no winner. You can't drop a nuclear weapon on Israel, and even if they don't respond, you've still lost, even if they don't respond.
And also the aftermath would be in those countries in Europe, especially those young people. That would lead to absolute chaos all over the world. Yeah. All right.
That's
So
the
yeah,
aftermath. Everybody knows. And a nuclear bomb you can't compare it to an atom bomb. An atom
no,
bomb
but
is a
there are certain things like
nobody has dropped the force
they could use
of a
tactical
nuclear
nukes.
bomb.
They could use tactical nukes, which would only destroy. Tactical nukes don't have as much radiation fallout. It would just destroy Iran. But even if they did that, it would affect the whole world market for oil.
It would affect the whole water in that area, and it would affect all the countries' water supply in that area. Even without a nuclear weapon, just hitting their nuclear base. There's a nuclear base they had near the ocean. I think it's not one of their near the sea. If you hit it, then the entire region will not have drinking, will not have safe water. So you can't even strike nuclear facilities, much less drop nuclear bombs.
Or instead of using nuclear weapons, America might, if they see that Iran is building it, they may just carpet bomb Iran, just carpet bomb it, and kill millions of people.
Yeah, that's the problem. You see, Iran have got one of the best missile systems in the world, and I don't think that they've been fully tested. They don't have an Iron Dome per se in the same way that Israel does. But what they might lack in defense, they do not lack in offense. And I do feel they've been holding back. I've been seeing pictures of Tehran. I've been seeing people talking from Tehran, from very comfortable places. They don't look like, Tehran doesn't look like a pile of rubble. It looks pretty all right. So I do think, and there's 100 million people there, and they're very living very well. Thank you very much. They're not going to be easy and they're not, their weapon
Oh, you're right.
systems.
You're right. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be
They're
difficult because
very good.
America would take a lot of losses, and it's not worth it. But yeah, so we can head on
Not
out.
worth. And then their terrain is mountainous. It's not
Yeah,
flat like Iraq. You can't use tanks in that area. And if you can't use tanks and you can't put boots on the ground, it's like Afghanistan. Imagine Afghanistan with 10 times the number of soldiers to fight. That's
yeah,
Iran. Yeah, Iran is basically Afghanistan with like 100 times the number of Taliban for everyone they had to face before. It's 100 times more soldiers because they've got a massive army. Their army is bigger than the Afghanistani population, I think. I stand
yeah.
corrected on that.
So yeah, so the main thing though is that Iran just needs to be careful and don't. They're following all these rules of international rules. Don't do this. Don't do that. They need to take a page from the book of Russia. When Russia is ready to attack Ukraine, they do it because they know it's strategically in their interest rather than listening to the world. So I'll agree. I don't think Iran should. They can stop these pummeling, but I tell you this: if Israel does one more strike on Iran, all gloves should be off. Don't you agree? They can't continue doing this.
I agree, and they have to be very careful because I believe that it's not only nuclear facilities that they have dug 500 meters down. I believe that even if you try to attack Iran, they are ready. They already have enough bunkers to fight
they've shown because even though Israel would say they only plan to fight for 2 weeks, it's very clear that Israel was suffering because it's as soon as, and you know what's funny, as soon as the day before Iran sent the day before the U.S. bombed Iran, Israel opened its airports again and said people can come back. That means they knew things were going to peacefully calm down. Because if this had gone on for another 2 weeks, Israel's economy would have been decimated. So we now know the power. So now Israel and America have to tread gently with Iran, and Iran has to tread gently with them too. But at least it's head to head.
If I'm Iran, I'll build up my ballistic missile arsenal as well. I won't stop until I believe I have enough to destroy Israel 10 times over with conventional weapons.
They keep on building their conventional weapons. They can't stop
it.
They
just need to have enough to destroy Israel 10 times over.
Because even though I have an Islamic name, but I'm an atheist, I still want to say, all praise the great Allah. All praise God. Thank you, Iran, for standing up to the world. This beer is for you guys. And the God of Israel, too. Praise God. Fucking dying. Quilly, what are your last thoughts? You got some beer, too?
My last thoughts. Well, I'm grateful that we are seeing peace in the Middle East. Unlike my hawkish friend from across the pond. And I think that this matter is going to start, unless Israel starts something again, it's going to die out as strangely as it blew up. And we're going to go back to Gaza and the slaughter, which we will keep talking about.
Do you remember when Tyson became a Muslim? He said, I want to eat his children. Praise to Allah. That was against the British fighter who beat him. What was his name? Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis.
How did he say? He said, I'm going to eat his children. Praise be to Allah. Don't go me. All right, so enjoy your day.
If he watches this, he might take us down. So let's be careful. Iron Mike. Oh, I love Iron Mike anyway. He's one of my heroes. I'd love to meet him, but I think he'd knock me out.
we might do a show tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good show. All right, so from myself and Mustafa, it's been another day on Political Animals, and I bid you adieu, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, thank you.
Nice show.